Hey everyone, Uncle Wilson here. Today, we're going to make some spaghetti. And just as a precaution, if you are of Italian descent or Italian, please click away from this video immediately. I'm obviously going to get things wrong, but this is how I do things. And before any of you guys get disappointed, I'm going to be using pre-made pasta sauce as I don't have the time, effort, or energy to traditionally prepare pasta sauce. Aside from that, we're also going to need a pack of spaghetti, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and a bit more on the side, about a tablespoon of butter, about a teaspoon of oregano, some salt and pepper to taste, some Parmesan cheese, 3¼ pounds of ground beef, or 340 grams to my more educated viewers. I found that the best way of defrosting meat is to take it out of the freezer and stick it in the refrigerator overnight. You're also going to need half of an onion, as well as 2 cloves of garlic. You can get this by cutting an onion in half from the top to the base. Wrap the unused half with plastic and store it in the fridge for later. What you want to do now is to peel the papery layers off the onion by grabbing it from the top like so. Discard the peels in the nearest trash can. Slice the onion vertically from one end to another. Also, it is important that you use a chopping board, as cutting directly on the countertop will damage both your countertop and knife. When you're done cutting the onion into long vertical strips, bunch them up together and turn them 90 degrees sideways. While holding the strips together, cut it like so, effectively dicing the onions. Continue to do this until all the onions are diced. Make some room for the garlic. Start by using your knife and body weight to crush the garlic like so. By doing this, you could easily remove the garlic peel. The next thing you want to do is to cut away the brown top part of the garlic and discard it. Repeat with the other clove. Now bunch the garlic cloves together and start chopping it. One method of finally chopping the garlic is to hold the end of the knife with your support hand and pivot it around like so. Now put a large pot on a stove and turn it on up to a medium-high heat. Wait for around 30 seconds till it gets hot. Now pour the butter in and wait for it to melt. Also add in the olive oil. When the butter starts to sizzle, slide in the onions and garlic in using your knife. Stir it around for around 30 seconds and then add in the beef. Break the minced beef apart using your spoon. Now if the pot slides off the stove, fret not, as all you need to do is to turn off the heat and reposition the stove using towels or mittens. Continue to stir the contents of the pot until the beef is mixed together with the onions. Add about 2 teaspoons of salt and continue to stir the beef. Keep doing this till the meat is fully cooked. You know it's cooked when the meat starts to turn brown. Open the jar or whatever packaging your spaghetti sauce comes in and pour the contents into the pot. Add some oregano and continue to stir the sauce until it starts to boil. Note that the sauce is essentially ready to eat, so all you're doing is heating it up on the stovetop. When you're done, remove the pot from the heat. For the next step, fill water into the largest pot you can find. Put the pot on the stove and turn the heat up to a medium heat. Add a considerable amount of salt to the water and then wait for it to boil. The reason we salt the water is to speed up the boiling process and to add flavor to the pasta. In a large bundle, put the pasta into the pot. Do not break the pasta in half so that it can fit inside the pot, as doing so would make it near impossible to bundle up the spaghetti, and it is equivalent to starting a genocide on Italians. Instead, use tongs to hold the unsubmerged part of the pasta from touching the hot metal pot, or you may end up lighting your house on fire, or even worse, ruining your pasta. This is also why it's a good idea to invest in a large saucepan. Continue to boil the spaghetti, occasionally stirring it for around 8 to 10 minutes. You'll want to cook the spaghetti to al dente, meaning that it is cooked till it's firm to bite. The best way to find out if it's done or not is to actually test it by eating it. If you feel like it's done, turn off the heat, grab a colander, place it in the sink, grab the pot using towels or mittens, and then pour the contents of the pot into the colander. Use caution cause the water is very hot. Pour in a little bit of olive oil or cold water into the pasta. This is to prevent the pasta from sticking together. Shake the colander up. Now transfer the spaghetti to their respective serving plates. This is enough spaghetti to feed 4 to 5 people. Now all you have to do is to pour the meat sauce over the spaghetti, and add some Parmesan cheese if you wish. We've just successfully prepared our own plate of spaghetti. While technically it's cheating since we use pre-made sauce, you've just saved yourself over an hour of constantly stirring and simmering a pot of tomatoes, which you can now use to enjoy your spaghetti.